Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to episode number 2 of my mom's heart surgery journey. You guys were so supportive after the first one. It was so awesome to film it. It was awesome looking back on it after my mom got out of surgery and just like reflecting on our thoughts and emotions going into surgery and then now. So obviously we are in my parents' home. So my mom is home from surgery. It is now Friday, October 7th. So it is just about a week and 2 days after her surgery. So it has been a whirlwind of a week and 2 days. I cannot believe it's been that long. It feels like it's been a lot longer, but it also feels like the surgery was yesterday. So a lot has happened. So we figured we would take time now to like kind of recap on the past week and a half, what had happened, how the process was in the hospital, the process of coming home, and the first week of being home, because my mom got home on Monday from the hospital. So it's been a full work week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, I guess really Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of being home. I've had people come to the house and all that. So we wanted to kind of recap all of that. So floor is yours.
All right. Hello, everybody. It was definitely an interesting week. So I went and got to pre-op about 6 a.m. on Wednesday the 28th. Changed, gave me a relaxer, you know, and other antibiotics to prepare for surgery, and they took a pregnancy test. I was like, I thought they were kidding. I was like, I'm 55, and she's like, no, you have a uterus. We don't judge how it got there. So I was like, okay, so I am not pregnant. Okay, it was negative. Then the anesthesiologist comes in, the 3 of them. It was Dr. Cohen, Dr. Roberts, and a big, tall Russian guy. I have no idea what his name is. Then I was rolled into the OR about 7:20, where I met everybody. This big Russian anesthesiologist gathered everybody around the table and wanted everybody to introduce themselves, which again I thought was a little funny, and said, "Oh, what is your name, sweetie?" And the girl said her name, and she said, "Isabel, did you hear that? That's her name." So he introduced everybody, so that was interesting. The last one to speak to me was Dr. Cohen, and he said, "Are you ready? I'm the last person you'll see. We're gonna take good care of you. It's time to go to sleep." And I said, "Let's do it. Let's do it." I fell asleep, I figured around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up around 1 to some nurses coming around the bed. I was totally out of it, like, where am I? And then they're doing all these things, and then all of a sudden I see my husband and my oldest daughter Christina walk in. I was so thirsty, so the only thing that would allow me, anesthesiologist, is ice chips. So they give me a whole cup, and Christina's just like feeding them to me. I'm like, bad idea, because it all came back up. Okay, but I was so thirsty, and it satisfied it for a little bit, and the throat is so sore because they had just pulled out the breathing tube. So I had wires and tubes coming out of everywhere. So I was in ICU with these wonderful nurses until about 6 a.m. on Thursday. And went to the cardiac rehab unit. I had a good day with the nurse, Alyssa. She was so sweet. And Richie, my husband, Christina, Anna, Ryan, Marissa, Timmy, they all visited. They had a lot of company, so it was a lot of little craziness. Then Friday on September 30th, and that was a good day. My vitals were good. I was improving. Everything according to textbook, right? And then another good day with the same nurse, Alyssa, on Friday. My husband was there, Christina was there, Megan Anthony, and baby Michael came to see me, which, oh my God, he was so funny, interested in the IV, like, duh, like, what are all these things? Where am I? He was talking like nonstop. So it was so nice. My spirits were lifted with him being there. And then Friday night, about 10 p.m., trying to get cleaned up a little bit, went to the bathroom. My heart went nuts. It went into AFib. The rhythm was between 140, 150. It kind of stayed up there, went down to 70, back up to 130s. I'm like, what is happening? Am I having a heart attack? After all this is how it goes? I'm going to die from a heart attack? So the nurse said, all right, let's get you back in bed. Hooked up again to IVs, all these meds, and all that. So they tried giving me all of Saturday some medicines through IV and by mouth to get my heart regulated, the rhythm. It was going nuts. They said I was managing it okay because being so high, I felt like I was doing a HIIT workout, CrossFit with Marissa and not getting the credit for it. Like I didn't have my Apple Watch on. I was like, I'm sweating. So I'm like, what is happening? He says, you're managing it okay, but we can only do this for about 24 hours. And I said, what else can we do after? He said, we have to give you a cardio version, which is the paddles on your chest, and they have to restart like the rhythm of your heart to get it more to a normal between 60 and 100, whatever. I'm like, oh dear Lord. And I said, is it gonna hurt? He says, some people may feel it. You might hear voices because you're not completely under. We have to get an anesthesiologist in here, and then we can get it done. I was like, okay. Let my husband know, was with the night nurse. So this was done about noon on Sunday. So they all come in, another 8-10 people. The anesthesiologist came up, they put the paddles on me, one here, one to the side. One of the girls said, oh my gosh, she's so tiny, it doesn't fit. I'm like, I love you. So I went, so then they said, we're gonna give you a little bit to go you to sleep, and then you might be able to hear us, and we'll do it. Sure enough, I could hear everything they were saying. And then all of a sudden it's like somebody like, boom, punched you right in the chest. I felt it, definitely. Not pain, but definitely like a punch. And I woke up. The anesthesiologist, Dr. Gordon, was in front of me. And I said, did it work? And she says, yes, it worked. I'm gonna go get your husband. So she went and got my husband, and again, all my vitals came back. My heart was acting normal. They took some IVs and meds from me. The things on my list on the walls changed to regular meal because they had stopped me from eating after I had been eating for a day. No water unless I took medicine. So thirsty again. But I'm like, I'm not touching the ice chips for sure. So then they got me back into a regular heart rhythm, and then I did great the rest of Sunday. They said, we're going to monitor this for about 24 hours. You probably will go home on Monday. I'm like, cool, I like that. So everything was fine through the night. Monday, October 3rd, everything was still under control. The blood pressure was good, the vitals were good, I was eating. Okay, I was normal for everything. And then they said, how late can you leave? Like, I don't care how late. My husband doesn't care. So 6 p.m., 5:30 or 6 p.m., I believe it was rush hour. Coming home on Monday, they said you can go. So I came home with like 10 different kinds of meds. Yeah. Picked up at CVS, and I've been doing great at home. I'm sleeping right here in the recliner. My husband's sleeping on the couch. That's probably the hardest part, and then all the vitals have been great. I came home with a cuff for the blood pressure, which also takes the pulse, which they said also I could compare to my Apple Watch, and then thermometer. So every day somebody's coming in. Somebody coming in, either the nurse, Tuesday, Thursdays, or PT, physical therapy on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to get me to walk and me to get up. I've been eating. It's been great to be home. My husband created an entire spreadsheet, Mr. Excel spreadsheet, of all the meds, and he's been checking them off. I'm telling you, he must have been an RN in some previous life. Because, I mean, I'm the one that does all the stuff in the house, the cooking, the cleaning, and all that, and I'm like, shut down. He just created an entire thing. He's been wonderful cooking, and I have prepared meals ahead of time, of course. I prepared lots of meals, so every night he wouldn't have to cook and all that, so all he has to do is warm them up. And then the bell's been ringing on and off. Flowers, cut fruit, chocolate covered strawberries. I'm really loving the attention, I gotta say. So, and cards, and people have been wonderful. And then Anna has been working from home because she can. Marissa, when she's off, she's here with me now. And then over the weekend, the rest of the kids, I'll be able to see everybody. Michael came to visit on Wednesday because it was a holiday, the school for a Jewish holiday, so they didn't have school. So it's been fantastic to be here. I can't wait to be. So I've walked outside twice, unassisted, already with PT, to the neighbor's house, here and back. Pretty much since yesterday and today, the first day that I've been unassisted walking and eating, sleeping better.
Yeah, every day is better and better.
Going up the stairs with PT today, taking a shower is like the best shower in the world. The first one you take. It had been a few days. So taking a shower, little things in life that you take for granted, that you're like, oh my God. It's like
brushing your teeth, everything. So, I mean, it's like it was a a wild week because I went on Friday, and this was before everything really started happening with the AFib, and I remember I left and she had nothing attached to her. She had no electrodes, literally just something like just the EKG, like monitoring her heart rate, monitoring her heart rhythm and all of that. So when I left, she was walking all by herself. She was doing great. I mean, no problems, nothing to be concerned about. And then we get texts that she kind of got up, went to the bathroom, tried to take a shower, and her heart rate was spiking, and so they have to do this procedure, the cardioversion. And so it was very scary from like the outside perspective, because something that had been going so seamlessly from the time that she got out of surgery kind of took a little bit of a turn and wasn't bad. They said like they were not even a little bit concerned about this cardioversion procedure. They said 1 to 4 times they'll have to shock her heart, but they don't expect it to have to need any more than that. It's very effective. And so when we got word that after the first one it was perfect and everything went back to normal, it was like this sigh of relief again. That every day has been one step in the right direction. It's one more thing each day that she's able to do more than the last day. At first it was exciting to just be able to like get up and sit down on your own, and then it's exciting to be able to walk unassisted, go up and down the stairs, take a shower. Like it's just every day is one step closer and in the right direction. So it's been super positive, especially since being home. Mentally, I'm sure it's a lot easier as well.
The mental piece, it's huge. Physically, you go through a lot. I mean, I've never had so many wires and arterial. I know the difference between a vein and an artery, because I'm like, who knew? IV goes to the vein, the arterial lines coming out of the neck, coming out of the lungs, and then they have to pull all that stuff out. And you're like, oh, just hum on the way out. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really not what you want to do when you pull it out.
You're like, oh yeah, sure.
So I'm like, okay. One time I did curse.
Well, that's okay.
You know, I did. And I was like, and then I apologized to the young man who was in the room, nurse, and I said, I'm sorry, I grew up in New York. And he says to me, oh, I grew up in Philly. No worries.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So that's probably the best part, is meeting all these young people.
Yeah, amazing
all these
people.
nurses. Oh my God, angels, God's angels. The worst part is just having everything that you're hooked up to, and all of a sudden they start pulling electrodes. And I'm like,
it's a good thing that they're all getting taken out, but I'm sure it's uncomfortable.
No, it's not. And just say, on the count of 3, just hum. I said, well, I'm more like scream.
Yeah, more like cry. Yeah, that's awesome. So what's next? Like, what does next week look like for you?
Just recovery. Next week would be, again, the nurse comes twice a week. That's PT if I need it, twice a week. More important for the PT is 6 to 8 weeks from now, since I was so physically active and fit. That way I feel comfortable on the treadmill or starting back on doing more, and my heart rate will obviously go up. Right now they wanted to keep it between 60 and 100.
Yeah.
So if it goes above that, I don't want to have to worry about it.
Right.
That I'm going to go into that A rhythm, you know, again, and have the AFib and irregularity again, because you could definitely feel it right here.
I'm sure.
Like I could feel going up, and I could just look down. My chest was like, oh my God, what is happening?
It's scary.
So it is very scary. So I'm glad I was in the hospital, because initially I was doing so well. They said, you're going to go home Sunday. And then when this happened Saturday night, they're like, oh no, you're going to go home maybe Monday. If this works.
Yeah, thank God. I mean, you were in the best place when something did happen.
I definitely would have panicked if I was home and that happened. So little by little, the meds have dropped down. I think from 10, I'm down to 8. And that's for the next month, really. So just keep with the twice a week nurse, PT, and I see all my primary care. I see my cardiologist, and I see my surgeon second week of November. So it's all a lot of doctor's appointments and visits.
Just checking in, making
that's
sure
it. Make sure the progress is what it's supposed to be doing. X-rays, so make sure the sternum here is healing properly. You know, that's probably the hardest part. I'm just taking Tylenol.
Yeah.
Right now, since actually midnight on Sunday, just taking Tylenol. Yes, after surgery on Wednesday, I didn't want to take any pain medication. I've never taken anything.
Goes through open heart surgery, wants to take Tylenol.
So I said, can I just have Tylenol? I think I'll be fine. Well, that was a big mistake.
Yeah, as you could imagine. She needed more than Tylenol.
They had Oxy, of course, 10 milligrams, 5 milligrams. I'm like, after it was a big mistake. So let me just go with the 5 then.
Yeah.
I'll go with the 5 again.
Right.
It didn't work.
Yes.
So for the next couple of days, I was up to the higher dose.
Yeah, just to relax a little, and then be able to recover.
You're really so out of it. You're not really part of this world. You're like in a fog. You can't see the TV. You can't see people. I'm like, I can't. And I like that. So, but definitely your body needs to heal.
Yes.
So you need to listen, and of course that's what they all recommend it. Just the first few days, then you can step it down.
Yes.
And I did. So since Sunday night at midnight, I've only taken Tylenol
Mm-hmm.
every 6 hours. And it's manageable. It's working. I have a high tolerance for pain, thank God. So, but, you know, you can't be stupid.
Yeah,
You know.
don't try to tough it out. There's no prize for being the toughest patient in the hospital. So
No.
if you need the medicine, take the medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we kind of just wanted to check in, do a little bit of an update, see where we are now. It's awesome having her home. It's like such a relief for everybody getting the text message that she was coming home, knowing she's back in her own house, knowing that, one, we don't have to drive into the city, which is super nice, and two, that she's right here. If we need to visit her, if we need to see her, if someone wants to come over and spend time with her, it's right here. And all the nurses are local to the area, so it's awesome. They've been able to stop in. They check in on her 4 or 5 times. They call, so it's been great. It's been awesome since she's been home. So we just wanted to check in. I'm sure we'll film another video like this in about another week and a half, about another check-in, kind of see where we're at now. The crazy part is things progress so rapidly now, and it feels, I'm sure to you, maybe very slow, but from the outside perspective looking in, like, it's incredible that a week and a half ago you were in surgery and now you're home walking all by yourself. Like, it's amazing. So it's exciting to see the progress, and we're excited to continue sharing it with you guys. So if you guys like this video, you want to keep watching the journey, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video that I post. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on my Instagram so you can see all the other fitness, health, and lifestyle content that I post on there. And we will catch you guys here next time.